Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, I was gonna make, after the games, I was gonna make a, like my own top 25 kind of, but I figured this might be a better and more engaging way to do it. We've got a tier list here. We've got elite. So actually, let me just show you. We have all the teams right here, and I'm gonna be putting them in elite, playoff contenders, very good, or conference contenders, solid, around the top 25. All right, they could sneak into the top 25 maybe. They'll probably make a bowl game. They'll be lucky if they make a bowl game. They won't make a bowl game. Bad season and the worst of the worst. So let's get started. This could be a longer video. Be sure to stick to the end because this is going to be pretty exciting. First off, we got Georgia, who crushed UT Martin Saturday. Beat them, I think, 49-7. So that being said, they are elite, I would say. This is kind of tough. I have to scroll up like this. They are elite, I would say. They won back-to-back championships, so definitely elite. Next up, we got Arizona. Arizona beat Northern Arizona 38-3 yesterday, which was pretty good. But Northern Arizona is an FCS school, so that's not really saying much. That being said, I would say probable bowl game. Probable bowl game right there. They'll be all right. Next up, we got Rutgers. Rutgers shocked people yesterday because they absolutely crushed Northwestern, and Northwestern was actually favored. So that being said, I would put them. I guess we can go up. Prob- Fringe top 25 or probable bowl game. Let's do Fringe top 25. After what I saw yesterday, it was pretty good. Next up, we've got Auburn, who played incredible. They played UMass yesterday, but they destroyed them 59-14. That being said, I'm a little stuck where to put them. No, I'm not putting them in worst of the worst. I just have to do this because it's really annoying. Do we do Fringe top 25? Yeah, I would do Fringe top 25 once again. And next up, we've got Alabama, who absolutely destroyed Middle Tennessee State. I believe that's who it was. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to put them in elite. I think they can go in playoff contenders because they're not elite like Georgia is, but they're all right. I mean, they're better than all right. But Air Force played Robert Morris yesterday, and they did crush him, but that was Robert Morris. So I don't think I'm gonna put him in lucky to make bowl game. I don't see it happening, but they could make it definitely. So Boston College actually lost yesterday. They lost to Northern Illinois in overtime, I believe. They lost 27-24, and it looked rough. Their coaching decisions were very questionable, and especially against a team as bad as Northern Illinois is. I don't know. I don't think they should be worst of the worst, but we're gonna put them in bad season. So next up we got BYU, and here's the thing: they did win yesterday. They actually shut out their team, 14-0, but it was Sam Houston. So and they only put up 14 on Sam Houston. So that makes me question some things. I'm gonna put them in lucky. No, no, they probably will make a bowl game. We're gonna put them in probable bowl game. So yeah, we got some up there. No worst of the worst yet. Next up, we got Cal. Cal crushed their team yesterday, 58-14, I believe. They are joining the ACC next year, but it is still Cal, and they don't have the best team. I'm gonna put them in lucky to make bowl game, I guess. And next up, we got Georgia Southern. Now, Georgia Southern shut out. I think they played the Citadel last. Well, I think it was Saturday. I was gonna say last night, but yes, it was Saturday. They shut them out, which was pretty impressive. But it is still Georgia Southern, so I'm gonna say it won't make bowl game, but it's still not a bad season. Next up, we got Hawaii. Hawaii lost yesterday. I kind of forget who it was to. Oh, it was Stanford, who's also joining the ACC next year. Stanford beat them 37-24, which isn't horrible, but I would think this would be a little closer. So I'm gonna also put them in won't make bowl game. Next up, we've got a team that I'm actually really keen on. We got Louisville, who beat who was it? Georgia Tech yesterday, 39-34, and that was a good game. I was actually watching that one towards the end of it. It was a really fun game to watch. Louisville, where do they go? I think they'll make a bowl game. I don't think they're quite fringe top 25. I will say probable bowl game. Next up, we've got Maryland. Maryland took on Towson yesterday and beat them 38-6. That was pretty good. I feel like probable bowl game is gonna we're gonna have so many teams there. We're gonna have like 3 rows probably. But I mean, that's just where a lot of teams are at after week 1. And next up, we got Memphis. And they played Bethune Cookman. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. They played them yesterday, and it was brutal. They won 56-14, and even that, their quarterbacks didn't throw for. I mean, I'm talking about Bethune Cookman. Bethune Cookman's quarterbacks did not throw a single touchdown. They had 2 quarterbacks play because the other one got benched for only throwing for 18 yards, and this guy threw like 10 passes and only threw for 21 yards. So it was brutal. But Memphis played pretty well. Their defense was really good. I'll put them in. I don't want to. Let's put them in probable. I mean, fringe top 25. I guess that's an okay place. Next up, we got is that Middle Tennessee. Okay, Middle Tennessee. They were put against Alabama, and which isn't exactly fair to start off the season. It really has a bad start to it. Just makes the whole season go downhill. But they did score a touchdown, so that's a positive, I guess. They lost 56-7, but that being said, I still think they're gonna have a bad season. And next up, we got NC State. So NC State took on UConn yesterday, and they won 24-14. So that was pretty impressive. They'll make a bowl game probably. And next up, we got North Carolina, who beat South Carolina in one of the best games. Was that Saturday night? It was very, very entertaining game, and North Carolina looked really good. So we're not putting them in a probable bowl game. I think they go higher. I say they're very good conference contenders. I really like North Carolina. Next up, we got Northwestern, who we already covered, who they played this so far, and who was it again? Oh yeah, Rutgers. They played Rutgers yesterday, and it was brutal. That was supposed to be a good win for them. I'm gonna put them in won't make bowl game. Next up, we got Notre Dame, who's already 2-0. They played pretty well in both of their games. They crushed Navy. Kind of forget who they played on Saturday, but yeah, Notre Dame. They're ranked 13th. They're an independent, so I don't know if I could put them in conference contenders. Let's put them in solid, okay? Next up, we got my team, Penn State. I don't want to be biased here, but I did watch the game Saturday night when we played West Virginia. I was pretty impressed. For our new quarterback, Drew Aller, this was his first game starting ever. And yeah, he played really well for his first game. They crushed them. Well, they didn't really crush them. They won 38-15. But West Virginia isn't a terrible team either. So I'm a little stumped on this one. I think they're still ranked 7. And we'll see where they go. They're definitely a conference contender, I would say. Let's put them in front of North Carolina because I definitely think they're a better team than North Carolina. It's going to be tough to get past Ohio State and Michigan, but you never know. They could win at least one of those games, maybe even both. Next up, we got Rice, who got crushed by Texas yesterday, I believe. And yeah, it wasn't very good. They are a bad season. Next up, we got San Jose State. So San Jose State got crushed by Oregon State yesterday. It didn't look very good. They're going to go in won't make bowl game, I think is a fair spot for them. UMass got destroyed by, who was it again? I kind of forget. But they got destroyed either way by a solid team. They're not on the top 25. But it wasn't very good. They only put up 14 points. I guess we put them in. I guess another won't make bowl game sounds fair. And we got USC going up next. They're very good. Very good team. I would probably put them in conference contenders because they're still in the Pac-12 this year. Remember, they're joining the Big Ten next year, which will Sorry, yeah, as I was saying, it will be insane when they join the Big Ten next year. But next up, we got Iowa State. And yeah, they beat Northern Iowa on Saturday. They beat them 30-9, which is pretty impressive. Next week is a really big test for them. They're taking on a ranked team, Iowa, who's ranked 25th right now. Could move up, could drop out. You never know. That's the big question. But I was still pretty impressed yesterday. I'll put them in the fringe top 25. They played really well yesterday. Next up, we have Charlotte, who won their game yesterday and that is actually first in their conference. So, does that mean I put them in very good conference contenders? Because technically, yes, they are. But I don't think they're very good. They're not even in the top 25 or fringe top 25. No, I don't think that's fair. Even though I do think they could win their conference, I'm going to put them in lucky to make bowl game. They probably could make. They probably win 6 games this year. Next up, we got Temple, who actually did win on Saturday, 24-21 against the Akron Zips. But do we really think they're gonna get 6 wins? I'm not completely sure there. I'm thinking about lucky. Yeah, let's do lucky to make a bowl game. Next up, we got New Mexico, who got destroyed by Texas A&M yesterday. And yeah, I was expecting it to be a lot closer of a game. That being said, they're going to be in bad season, which is strange because I think they have a good shot at making a. I thought before this game, at least, that they had a good shot at making a bowl game, but now I don't think so. So Utah played Florida on Saturday, which was a pretty good game, very entertaining game. And yeah, they won 24-11. They're a very good team. They could definitely sneak into the top 10. Are they a conference contender or are they solid? I think they're going to be solid. They're around the same talent as Notre Dame, I would say. So Virginia played Tennessee on Saturday, and yeah, they got destroyed pretty badly. It was pretty brutal to watch. Virginia, where do I put them? I know this is the first time they've played in a while after what happened on campus last year and their season got canceled. Not the best return they could have had, but it was alright because they played a very tough team to start in Tennessee. So Baylor played Texas State and got upset. Wow, I was really shocked here. They got upset and pretty bad. They got beat 49-13, which is kind of insane. So where do we put them here? I'm gonna put them in won't make bowl game right there. So Utah State played Iowa, who is a ranked team once again, and they did lose 14-24. But once again, Iowa is ranked. So where do we put them here? It wasn't terrible. I'll put them in. Yeah, let's put them in lucky to make bowl game. Next up, we got the Ohio Bobcat. So Ohio won game 1 against LIU, and where should they go here? Let's put them in lucky to make bowl game. I doubt they'll make a bowl game. Next up, we got Texas State, who, as I said, just crushed Baylor, and that was very shocking to me, at least. So I'm gonna put them. Do we do fringe top 25? I don't know. Maybe probable bowl game will be better. Yeah, let's do probable bowl game. So Missouri won 35-10 on Saturday, which leads me to believe I think they'll be fringe top 25. So Boise State had to play a top 10 team. They played Washington on Saturday. And yeah, they lost pretty bad, 56-19. It wasn't very good, but I do still think they will probably make a bowl game. SMU football. Stuck around the props. Next up, we have SMU, and they beat Louisiana Tech 38-14, so that was pretty impressive. Still, I think they'll be lucky to make a bowl game. Next up, we got Ohio State, who I may be a little biased since I'm a Penn State fan, but I don't think they played very well. They only won by 20 against Indiana, which should have been an easy win, and it was an easy win, I don't know. I wasn't completely impressed with Kyle McCord, but it is still Ohio State. So let's put them. Yeah, let's do very good conference contender. Well, actually, I think they're definitely a playoff contender. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs because there is only 4 spots, but we'll have to see. It's gonna be a tight playoff run, and we'll have to see who makes the least mistakes, and that's who's gonna make it in. Next up, we have Duke, who hasn't played yet. They're actually playing tonight, so I don't know if I can rank them, so I'm gonna put them at the bottom. So yeah, I'm not gonna rank Duke. I just put them at the bottom of the pile here. Next up, we have Oklahoma, though. We have Oklahoma football, and this was brutal. They won 73-0 against Arkansas State. They were ranked 20th, and now I think they will be. Do we do let's do a solid top 25. I don't know though. It could be a conference contender, but for now they're gonna be in solid. Oklahoma State, solid, won't make bowl game. And now we have South Carolina, who lost to North Carolina yesterday, and yeah, they kind of got ran over, but they were not the favorites anyways. So I'm gonna put them in probably no. Let's do fringe top 25 still. Appalachian State, bad season. Syracuse won 65-0 against Colgate. So for that, I'm going to say probable bowl game. Army, bad season. Akron, once again, bad season. Arkansas State got beat 73-0. So I think they are going to be our first worst of the worst. UAB won't make a bowl game. Next up is FIU, and they're going to go in bad season, and I feel like there could be a lot of bad seasons. Michigan State football. Score 30. State football. Coastal Carolina. I guess rather do football. So the team we've all been excited for, we've got Colorado, Deion Sanders and his son Shedeur Sanders, who crushed it, 510 yards passing, and took down a team that was just in the national championship, TCU, which is insane. People expected Colorado to do well, but this is like absolutely crazy. So before this, I bet they would be in lucky to make bowl game. Now they're moving all the way up to solid top 25. Cincinnati and Louisiana will both go in lucky to make bowl game. USF got destroyed. I think they could be in the worst of the worst. Texas Tech lost to Wyoming. They are going to go in, won't make bowl game. UConn is going to go in lucky to make bowl game. I'm gonna go past Cincinnati, I think. FAU, they won, but they're still not gonna make a bowl game. Houston barely beat UTSA. They'll go to fringe top 25. And Liberty is gonna go with them to fringe top 25. It's kind of difficult format to use. Maybe we'll use a different one next week, I'm not sure. Oregon won 81-7. They will go in very good conference contender. Bowling Green, Old Dominion, and Miami, Ohio are all going to go in bad season. Pitt is going to go in fringe top 25. Next up, we have LSU, who played last night, and they got destroyed by Florida State, and they were ranked number 5, which is really rough. So before this, they would be put in conference contenders, but now I might have to put them in solid. They'll stay in the top 25, but I don't know. Arizona State is going to go in, won't make bowl game actually. Kent State got duped. They will be in the worst of the worst. And Colorado State, I think they'll stay in bad season. I don't think they're quite at worst of the worst yet. Florida lost to Utah, not too bad. They'll still probably make a bowl game. I guess we put them in fringe top 25. Florida State looked incredible. They're going all the way up here. Where should we put them is the question. They're above solid. I'm putting them in playoff contenders. Georgia State barely beat Rhode Island. They'll go and won't make bowl game. Georgia Tech had a very entertaining game against Louisville, but they're still going to be in lucky to make bowl game. UNLV looked pretty impressive, actually. I'm going to put them up in fringe top 25. TCU will also be in fringe top 25. I do believe they will drop out of it this year after losing to Colorado. So yeah, they'll go right next to UNLV. Iowa did beat Utah State, and they were 25th before that. I see them moving up maybe 1 or 2 spots. I do think they'll stay in the top 25, which technically would put them at solid. Wake Forest is okay. I think they'll be fringe top 25. Let's take them up there. Kansas State shut out SEMO. Just Kansas shut out SEMO. They will be going to, I guess that's another fringe top 25. That is filling up really fast. But we're getting towards the end, as you can see. Oregon State put up 42 points. They played very well. I'll put them up in solid once we can finally get there. Oh my gosh, I lost them. Oh, there they are. Okay. Solid. There we go. Southern Miss did really well yesterday. They're still Southern Miss, though. I'm going to put them in won't make bowl game. Tulsa won, but they're going to go with Southern Miss in won't make bowl game. Louisiana Tech did lose their game. It was against a pretty good team, but they're still going to go in bad season. Minnesota beat, now I forget who it was, but I think it was Nebraska, 13-0 in an incredibly good defensive game. I will put them in lucky to make bowl game. Texas A&M actually shocked me yesterday. They did a lot better than I expected. I was thinking they would drop out of the top 25, but I think they will stay and probably even move up. Wisconsin beat Buffalo. Not very well, though. I'm going to have them in, I guess that's a lucky to make bowl game. Purdue got upset by Fresno State. I'm going to put them in won't make bowl game. Navy got destroyed by Notre Dame. They're going to go in the worst of the worst. Nebraska played well against Minnesota, but not good enough to beat them. So they're going to go in won't make bowl game. Nevada got absolutely destroyed by USC. They're going to go in bad season. New Mexico State crushed their team. They're going to go up here to lucky to make bowl game. NIU beat Boston College in a great game. Boston College is in bad season, so I guess I'll put them one above them and won't make bowl game. North Texas got crushed by Cal. They're going to go in worst of the worst. Clemson also did not play yet, so let's move them to the bottom there. And next up, we got UTSA. UTSA played a very good game against Houston. I could see them turning their season around, and I bet they'll make a bowl game. I'll put them in probable bowl game right there. Marshall barely beat Albany. Still going to go in won't make bowl game. Arkansas beat WCAU. I'm going to put them in probable bowl game. Indiana's defense played solid against Ohio State, but they only put up 3 points, so I'm going to put them in bad season. San Diego State already played 2 games and won both of them. They're number 1 in the Mountain West, but it is the Mountain West, but I'll still put them in probable bowl game. Western Kentucky won't make bowl game. My voice is starting to go. I've been talking a lot in this video, but we're almost done. So we got Western Michigan, they'll go in. Actually, I'm going to put them in bad season. They're not quite worst of the worst. I was very impressed by Ole Miss winning 73-7 against Mercer. I'll put them in. I'm going to say they make the top 25. South Alabama lost to Tulane. They're going to go in bad season. Eastern Michigan lost by 10. They're also going to go in bad season. Stanford was pretty impressive against Hawaii. I'm going to put them in lucky to make bowl game. Texas destroyed Rice, so I'm going to put them. They were ranked 11th. Do you think they move up at all to the top 10? I don't know. Not many top 10 teams lost. One did lose. But I guess we just keep them in solid. They'll stay in the top 25. Okay, next up we got the team that my team, Penn State, played in West Virginia. They put up a really good fight. I was very impressed with them, honestly. I think they will definitely make a bowl game. At least if they play the way they did against us. We were a top 10 team. And if they play that way against a top 10 team, I could see them beating most of the other teams on their schedule. Toledo just barely lost to Illinois. It was a good effort, though. I will put them in won't make bowl game. Troy beat Stephen F. Austin. They're going to go in lucky to make bowl game. Tulane, in my opinion, is a top 25 school. They will go in solid. Buffalo did lose. I'm going to put them in won't make bowl game. UCLA beat a solid school in Coastal. I'm going to put them in probable bowl game. Next up, we got Michigan, who definitely is up there with Ohio State and Penn State. They're Big Ten people, and I think... Do we put them in playoff contender? Yeah, they're playoff contenders because they're already ranked number 2. So that should automatically get them a playoff contender spot. I was very impressed with Kansas State, and they shut out SEMO 45-0. So, do we do fringe top 25? I'm actually going to put them in the top 25 with solid. Ball State got destroyed. I'm going to put them in worst of worst. Kentucky is the team that beat Ball State, and yeah, they crushed them. Probable bowl game. Miami crushed the other Miami. 38-3. I'll put them in probable bowl game. No, let's put them in fringe top 25, actually. I could see them getting close to top 25. UTEP already played twice, and they played very well. They won both games, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, they'll go in lucky to make bowl game. Washington beat Boise State by a good amount. They are a top 10 team. They should be way up here. Where did they go? They just vanished. Like, actually, where did they go? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just bugged them out of the tier list. So I don't know. They should be in conference contenders. That's where I was going to put them. We've got Vanderbilt next. They are going to go in won't make bowl game. And we've got 2 more teams to go. These 2 are staying, and I have no idea what that is. I don't know how it got in here, but it was. They beat, I forget who it was, by a good amount, and they'll go in probable bowl game. We have Wyoming, who beat Texas Tech in overtime, and they're going to go in, let's just put them in lucky to make bowl game, and this is your final tier list. We got Elite. We have only Georgia in Elite, which is insane. I thought we have more. I could have put one of these. Michigan, Ohio State, and Alabama both played below my expectations, actually. They had really easy games, and they didn't win by as much as I thought they would. Florida State, they were 8th, so I couldn't put them all the way up into Elite. So yeah, I guess that's it. I think Penn State could have been swapped up there. I think Penn State is better than all of these teams. But yeah, this is the final tier list. We had a few worst of the worst. Arkansas State, South Florida, Kent State, Navy, North Texas, and Ball State were in worst of the worst. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I might do this every week. That could be pretty difficult, but we'll have to see. See you guys in the next one. Peace.